10 yards to go. 1:47 to go in the game. LSU wins or loses on this play, it would appear. Holy cow!
If you are an LSU football fan, chances are you've heard about the legend of the earthquake game.
And I was a relatively new faculty member at that time and felt that I had to be working in my office. And I knew the game was going on, but at the end of the game, and I was listening to it, it all of a sudden became a big commotion, and I thought, this is pretty amazing.
Where were you on the eve of LSU's legendary earthquake game? If it was before your time, you've likely heard the story.
All right, Karen, this is tradition. You got to touch this. You can't walk on the Tiger field without touching this.
All right. The year was 1988. Tiger Stadium, the scene of the famous earthquake game. And I'm with the two players that made the famous play. Quarterback Tommy Hodson, running back Eddie Fuller. So we're gonna head out to the field and down memory lane.
On major game days, Tiger Stadium can pack the stands with more than 100,000 fans. It's a concentration of human energy and enthusiasm. On one fall night in the late 80s, that energy became a powerful force.
It was one of those classic Southeastern Conference games, low scoring, and it was 6-0 at the time, and time was running out.
More than 79,000 fans were in the stands for the LSU-Auburn game. It wasn't looking good for LSU.
Pump fakes, throws over the middle, Fuller dropped the ball! Holy cow, he had a touchdown!
You know, a couple of incompletes on 3 incompletes. First down and 9 from the 9.
Hodson to throw over the middle. Incomplete, out of bounds, was full.
I was intricately involved in that whole sequence. I mean, from drops to short arms to everything else.
And then we run first, second, and third down plays, and nothing there. Auburn stifled us. So we get to fourth down and 9, and from the 9.
With the game on the line, LSU fans were on edge. Tensions mounting in the stands as they watched and waited for a big play.
Well, I remember it's Northover zip 40X snag. Eddie's in the slot. We got a little motion coming. Tony Moss coming into motion. He's running the corner. Alvin Lee's running the snag. And Eddie's got the seam right here. And then it's just make the play happen.
So for him to come back to me, that was gratitude for me. You know, I mean, I think it's a little bit of redemption, but then not realizing that there was still time left on the clock. So they could have easily scored had it not been for our defense.
To my surprise, a little bit later, I found out it appeared on the seismometer that was on the ground floor in our building. It was the old analog technology in which they had a drum of paper that was moving as you got a pen that would record the amount of motion up and down, and obviously became a very important part of the LSU football as well as the overall history of the university.
It was a hard night, like Tom said, and we kind of were able to put the icing on the cake.
We were fortunate, we dialed up the right play on that fourth down, and Eddie popped open, and I was able to get it to him. We protected. Everything was great. It fell in place, and just excited about being a part of LSU history after all these years.
As for the LSU seismometer, today it's much smaller, portable, and works like a sonogram using energy waves to look into the earth. It's an invaluable source of scientific data and fun facts, and it's registered other earth-shaking events over the years, including the Garth Brooks concert in Tiger Stadium, Saturday, April 30th, 2022, when Garth performed the crowd favorite Call in Baton Rouge.
It basically was a signal that started at the time of the beginning of the song and just continued until the song was done.
And recently, you tracked some seismic event with the Dow plant explosion.
Yes.
What did you discover there?
In that case, we heard an explosion around the LSU campus, but it was also felt in the ground and recorded by these seismometers.
Despite its nickname, the earthquake game didn't actually produce an earthquake. However, scientists aren't asking for rewrites nor revisions to LSU lore.
When the earth breaks, it releases the energy. That's an earthquake. The events that were recorded in 1988 were basically the results of the fans jumping up and down, making lots of noise, and generating waves that went into the earth that were then recorded with this seismometer.
So the legend of the earthquake game lives on, chronicled on this mural here in Tiger Stadium as thousands upon thousands of people pass through it and tell this story to the next generation.
Being next to Garth Brooks, I mean, what else can you ask for, right?
Not a bad way to be immortalized.
Around September, October, when LSU plays Auburn, it's always, can you tell us about this Auburn game? And it's great, it's really good, great to be part of such a big play in LSU history.